This problem, maximum length of a concatenated string with unique characters. So Leetcode has classified this as the most asked Microsoft interview question. So here they're given an example of what we are trying to do. So you're given an array of strings. You're going to give all valid concatenations where all the string has all entirely unique characters. So example, they're given a case where UN, IQ, UE. So you cannot use the first and the third string because U is there. So in that way, the only possible combinations are the first and second, and the second and third. So they give us an example of what are the possible combinations, and so the maximum length is 4. Similarly, here they are given other combination where the maximum unique strings that we can combine, the output is 6. So they give an example CHA or ERS. I think there's one yeah, so actually there's when I first solved this problem, I think I made a mistake by assuming that only two strings should be combined. So we can combine any combination of strings. So it's a case where, if all the characters in the string are unique, then all of them can be combined to make one concatenated string. So that's another edge case we should consider. So yeah, given this problem, the first time I tried solving it was using a for loop within a for loop to join the strings inside the array. But if you're using combinations, the best way to do it is using recursion. So yeah, let's get started. First, let's create a variable outside of the method. So this is I'll call it max, int max equal to 0. So this is going to keep track of what's the maximum string that can be obtained by combining these unique values. So let's try creating a for loop for, I think before we get started, I'm going to create a method. So the purpose of this method is a helper method where it's going to return a string if all the characters inside of the string are unique, else it'll return an empty string. So for that, I'll use a hash set. Then let's use a for loop. So yeah, essentially what this method is doing, it's unique string, is we're using a hash set to check if all of the characters inside of the string are unique. If not, we're going to return an empty string. Let me, I forget a few, the semicolon, and yeah, everything looks good. So now first, we're going to create a for loop. So first thing we're going to do is compare the string inside of the array. So say string, I'll call it unique. Actually, let's see, this will be better. Get unique string. So if So yeah, essentially what we are doing is we are making sure that all the characters inside of the characters inside of the string are unique. If that's the case, we just update the value of max. and the value, the final will say return max. And then we are going to use create basically a combination list where we compare, we add, use the string, and then we add it to other values inside of the array, and we keep concatenating all the unique ones, and we do it until we reach the end of the array. So yeah, so let me create a method. So string combinations. So for that, we'll pass the current string. And since we've already added the current string, we'll just say index plus 1, and we'll pass the array list. So these are three values that we need for the creating the string combinations. So we create another method for generating them. So it's a method, since no value needs to be returned, we'll just say return is void. So string so first thing, we are going to have the base case. So if the value of index equal to the length of the array, then we have reached the end of the array. So in that case, we return. So if else, we are going to first generate the unique string. Let me just copy it. So essentially, we're now concatenating the current string with the new with the value inside the array. So yeah, this will basically check if the value is unique. And again, we need to make a similar check. So if so now that we have made a comparison, we have an option. We can either use the current string. So let me type that. So oh, I just noticed the method name is wrong. So we can just say string combination So here we have added only the current string and not the unique combined string. And the reason is since we are creating different combinations, it's possible that a larger value can be available if we don't include the value from the current index. So it's a case where, since we are only looking for unique characters, we don't want all combinations, but only the ones which have unique characters inside of them. So if then we can create string combinations of this one as well. So yeah, essentially what we are doing is we are now creating different combinations. So for one of them, we pass just the current string and not the combined unique string that we have generated. And yeah, this will help us to generate different combinations of the values inside of the array. And yeah, using that, I think we can find the largest string that can be concatenated. Oh. think it should have been I plus 1. So yeah, I think the runtime, I guess there can be some more improvements that instead of a hash set, we could have used a Boolean array, for example, and I think that would have used less memory. So that's one more improvement I can think of. But yeah, thanks for joining, and leave comment if anyone has an easier solution.